struggling about how they ain't got the budget. When we can do it ourselves without somebody else's funding. Stop looking at these labels like they really got a shortcut. Nowadays they signing artists who already got exposure. For pennies on the dollar, they must think we on a short bus. Your best bet's to figure out how you can get your merch up. Why take an advance when you can make that from your surplus?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Streetball Strategies. As you guys saw the last couple days, I've been working on my ball handling and agility by performing a combination move that I sort of just came up with off of the top of my head to push my legs, try to get them fatigued. And while I accomplished the physical goal of that, which was to make my legs tired, I didn't really learn the move. I didn't really learn the combination. And so today I thought we'd talk about the most efficient way to learn new combinations and the fastest way to learn a new skill.
Yeah, I gotta get mine, same time, free minds to step through. They want everybody rich except you.
So when I was thinking about how I was going to fatigue my legs and work on my agility, it's really simple. It's just a jab move into a crossover into a step back. 3 simple moves, but moves that I've never really done before. And while I accomplished my goal of fatiguing my legs by doing that combo move over and over again hundreds of times, pretty much as fast as I could go, I didn't really learn the move. In fact, it was pretty much a disaster. It was kind of a nightmare in terms of my proficiency of actually doing the move and having it be a successful move. I made myself tired, I made my legs sore, but I didn't really learn the move. I couldn't really use it in a game because I didn't learn it. So even though I've gone about trying to learn this combination backwards in terms of doing the physical work first, now it's time to try to learn the mental aspect of this combination. So the question is, how do I go about trying to learn this move, this combination, as efficiently and as fast as possible? So there's a saying that goes, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. What that really means is when you are learning a new physical skill, learning it slowly allows you to become smooth when you're doing it. So you learn it slowly, you practice it slowly. That allows you to become smooth in the movement, and then when you're smooth while practicing, that smoothness allows you to perform it quickly. See, the problem is there's a disconnect between what your mind thinks, what your mind sees, and how you physically perform what your mind sees. In my mind, I do that move flawlessly. It's easy. I do it perfectly, I do it quickly, I do it efficiently. But when I'm actually physically trying to do it, there is a disconnect between how I see it in my mind and how I actually perform it. So how do we go about connecting the two so that your body does what your mind sees, what your mind thinks? First of all, we need to keep in mind that our mind, our brain is self-contained, meaning it doesn't have to deal with the physical components of the combination, of making the move. Your mind doesn't have to deal with bone and muscle and joints and velocity and gravity and timing and balance. Those are all physical components of doing these combinations that your mind doesn't have to deal with. You only have to do it physically. And you can go about trying to learn a new combination in the way that I have been going about it, which is you dream it up, you think it in your mind, and then you just start trying to do it immediately as fast as you can. And I was getting repetitions in, I was getting work and effort in, I was accomplishing my goal of fatiguing my body. But the problem with performing a new combination the way I was is twofold. One is because since you're going pretty much as fast as you can, your body's going to get naturally fatigued anyway, which means the more fatigued you are, the more likely you are to make mistakes. And number two is when you become fatigued, your body's going to naturally slow down anyway. So if you're going to be making mistakes because you're going so fast, and if you're going to become fatigued because you're going so fast, then why not just slow down from the very beginning? Why not start out going slowly? So for instance, just the simple jab step, right? So the first move, the first step is just a simple jab step. If I jab step, but I am going as fast as I can, and I accidentally throw myself off balance when I do it, or my timing is wrong somehow, if I go into that first move, I make a mistake, my balance is off, now I have to compensate in order to get my balance back and then go into the crossover, right? But if I'm doing that, the chances that I'm going to make another mistake, a second mistake, going into the crossover increase as well, because I've already made one mistake. Now I have to try to compensate and then make my second move, or try to compensate while I'm making my second move. And because you're trying to recover from mistakes, the chance that you're going to make a second mistake, a following mistake, those chances increase as well. So I make my jab, I'm off balance, I have to get my balance back. In the meantime, remember, I'm going as fast as I possibly can when I'm doing this. So I jab, right? I'm off balance. But I don't really have time to compensate because I'm going as fast as I can. So then I try to cross over, and when I cross over, trying to compensate for being off balance while crossing over, the chances are I'm going to make some kind of mistake during the crossover move. So now I've made one mistake followed by a second mistake, and if I've made two mistakes so far, the chances of me making another mistake are exponentially high. So I'm mistake here, there's probably no way I'm going to step back perfectly and be able to do whatever my follow-up move after that would be. I'm probably going to continue making the same mistakes or same variants of mistakes throughout that move. Now, could I learn while going through that momentum, going through that movement? Could I learn and incrementally fix mistakes as I'm going as fast as I can? Sure, I could do that. But remember, while I'm going pretty much as fast as I can, not only am I making those mistakes, but I'm also fatiguing my body, which means I'm probably going to make more mistakes as my body becomes more fatigued. So yes, I may be learning as I repeat this combo as fast as I can. I may intellectually be learning and improving incrementally, but because I'm fatiguing my body, the chances of me making mistakes are going up as well. So this is where things become kind of counterintuitive, right? Because you associate moving fast with working hard and putting out a lot of effort and energy. But mentally, intellectually, that doesn't really corroborate. That kind of works against you. Because again, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So this is the parts of basketball, and especially street ball, when we're talking about trying to build your legacy, this is one of the parts where it's just not fun. So you have to be driven, you have to be motivated, because what you're about to do is not something that's flashy, it's not fun, you can't put it on Instagram and show it off to people. It's just hard work and repetition. That's all this is. And what you're going to be doing is just slowing down. So you're going to go move by move in the combination, and you're going to do it over and over again until it feels second nature. And it's one thing, right? It's kind of fun, kind of entertaining if you're, going as fast as you can. You have that jab step and you're trying to execute it as fast as you can, and really have some power and really try to sell it. But that doesn't really help you mentally, doesn't really help you intellectually. It can serve you physically in terms of it gives your body the sort of muscle memory when it comes to that power, that strength, that explosiveness. But intellectually, it doesn't really build skill. It just helps physically with your physical conditioning. So super simple. All you do is go super slow, right? Get as much of the move correct as possible. So super slow on the jab, right? Make sure you're stepping the correct distance that you want to step. Make sure you're on balance. You're not leaning too far into it. You're not back here for some reason, right? You're completely on balance. The distance that you want to step is exactly the way you want it to be. You get into it, your feet, your balance, your timing, everything is perfect. Everything feels smooth. And you repeat that over and over until it feels second nature, until you can do it in your sleep without having to think about it, without having to keep in mind if all of your movement is exactly the way you want and intend. Once you've accomplished that, and it's going to take hundreds and hundreds of times of doing this. We're talking about days and weeks here, guys, not just, come up to the court once, one day, put in a couple dozen moves, and now you're a master at them. No, this is something, because repetition is key. That's just how we learn. This is something that's going to take a lot of time. So once you've gotten the first move in the combo the way you exactly want it to be, and it feels completely smooth, then you move on to the second one. When we go into the second step in the combination, which is the crossover, we start from here because it's a crossover. So we wouldn't just come back to our set position and then practice the crossover, because that's not where the jab step ends. So you go to where the jab step ends, right? And then you practice going from this position into the crossover. And you do that again, slow, getting it perfect so that exactly every part of that crossover happens and feels exactly the way you want it to. Same thing with the step back move. You are going to be tempted to speed up as you go through the movement. Your body and your mind may start to feel bored, and so you're going to want to speed up. You're going to find that you have the urge to start going faster and faster. You have to fight that. You have to keep going slow and steady. Remember, as you increase speed, you lose smoothness. The smoothness comes from going slow, from getting everything as perfect as you can. But the most important thing is, you're going to want to speed up. Don't do it. Keep going slow and steady. Don't worry about being bored. Don't worry about maybe you're doing it too much. Don't worry about maybe you're wasting time because you're going so slow, because you're repeating the same thing over and over again. You're building in smoothness, and that smoothness will then allow you to perform this move in game, in competition, quickly and fast. So that's the most efficient way to learn new combinations. It's the fastest way to learn a new skill, at least that I'm aware of from my own experience. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Give it a try. Really commit to that process of going slow in order to learn as quickly and efficiently as you can. It does work, but it takes time, it takes repetition, but you should be doing it with something that really matters to you, something that's really going to help your game. If you really commit to that, I do believe that it will help you to succeed, thus propelling your legacy. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me out here for what is probably the last day of nice weather we're gonna have at the park in the 60-degree range for 6 months. We'll see if I'm still saying that a week or two from now, but for now it seems like this is the end of good weather at the park for about half a year. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, if you found value in this technique and this strategy, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Welcome to all the new subscribers, and hit that notification bell so you're notified of all my future videos. I'm thinking about supplementing regular weekly videos, the usual videos that I do every week. I'm thinking about supplementing those with movie reviews, basketball movie reviews over the next 5 or 6 months or so, while I'm stuck inside pretty much most of the time. And so I figured if I'm stuck inside, there's only so much basketball players can do in winter conditions when you're a street baller, when the majority of your work is done out here as far as physical work goes. Because we're going to be stuck inside for the next 5 or 6 months, there's only so much we can do while indoors, while stuck inside. There's only so much studying and working out and working on our game indoors that we can do. Occasionally you have to take some kind of a break to relax and break up the monotony, and basketball movies are a good way to do that. It's one of my favorite ways to spend my time watching movies, basketball movies, whatever. So I figured I'm going to start reviewing basketball movies in the coming weeks to supplement the regular weekly videos that you guys get. So let me know if that's something you guys want to see. I'm probably going to start doing it in the next week or so. And until then, I will see you guys next week.
This is for my outliers, down and out and in, been without, up again. Defy the odds of everything we up against. Outliers, down and out and in, been without, up again. Defy the odds of everything we up against. Outliers.